Bienvenue, Nathalie.
Bienvenue, merci, merci.
So, Thomas, can you join us on stage as well, please? Thomas Crampton is going to help. You have to know that Nathalie has there is actually a protocol that you should speak French. Is that something that is that's true? You can speak perfectly.
We are supposed in public occasion to speak French. So and actually my English is not that good. I can try in English and switch to French.
Feel free to switch to French. Once every year I get to practice my French, where Loic puts me up in front of thousands of people to try and translate.
I'd be happy to give the occasion. And first I would like to apologize for being late. Actually, I was having lunch with Rod Beckstrom, the CEO of ICANN, which is in Paris today. Who is in Paris today?
All right. Well, no, we are very glad that you took the time. So what keeps you busy apart from congratulations again for being a very young mother? But so I know this takes time, right? So congratulations.
That's right.
And but so what is your agenda these days?
We have a lot of work today on digital economy in France. This morning there was a new law that was passed in Senate. This is on digital access for everybody. We are working on developing broadband access for everybody, and we're also working on switching off analogical TV for everybody to switch to digital TV. That's part of my job today, and the other big part of my job those days is working on what we call the grand emprunt. What do you say that in English?
The loan.
Well, it's not exactly loan. It's in fact investment on investment for future. We are working on what are the good ideas for investing for future, with the idea to put a certain number of billions euros on.
Wait, 4 billion euros?
Yes.
That's for the people in the room?
4 billion euros.
Well, 4 billion euros for digital economy is the proposition of the Commission. And
that's what you're fighting to get?
Yes.
And how will it be used? How can the people in this room get 4 billion euros?
See, this is translation, by the way. I love it. Thomas is doing translation. Did you notice?
Well, individually, I take no engagement of any sort.
Don't worry, it's just between us. Nobody is listening here.
In fact, this is 4 billion euros is a proposition made by a commission, and President Sarkozy has to confirm next week and say exactly what he would like this money to be oriented to. The idea is to invest a part for broadband access. Might be 2 billion euros.
So to have more, because France is already well known as a country which has great internet access.
This is to grow access.
France is
one of the best countries in Europe for internet access. This is partly due to our tradition in public investment, because public investment is leading the development of this infrastructure, and the idea there is to put little public money, well, little 2 billion public money, to lead private investment again. So this will be mainly private investment, but the 2 billion euros will be used to do sort of an effet de levier.
Effet de levier.
Leverage. To leverage.
Yes, leverage. So part of this money I said for broadband access, and I'm fighting very much to have not the whole money for broadband access, because I think broadband access is part of it, but digital economy, this is also creating jobs, creating new practices around the internet, like télétravail.
Remote work?
Remote
working so in rural areas. So it's helping develop the internet in the rural areas of France.
Then not only, I mean, télétravail, this is also a practice, it's changing society. My idea is not just to put the money on broadband access, but put the money on everything that is changing society using the internet. The idea, I don't feel I'm just the Minister for Digital Economy, I feel I'm the Minister for Digital Society. Well, I'm trying to at least... yeah.
The digital society is out here in front of you.
Here.
I mean, I have to say publicly that I think you're you're very, very cool as a minister. See, you speak. Your team tells me, no, we're going to do it in French, and you do it in English. You know, and it's really cool. So very exciting. So how, if I'm a startup in this room, French, right? Can they, if you're not, well, actually, they could create a company here, I guess.
Not necessarily French. I mean, this year, not waiting for this billion euros, we already had some money from the relance. How you say that?
You can say it in French.
Relance, le plan de relance en anglais.
The recovery plan.
Yeah, the recovery plan. We had some money from the recovery plan, and I also tried to have some money on the broadband then, and some money on internet society practices and so on. And this money we invested on new practices and new tendencies on the internet. For example, we put money on serious gaming. We put money serious gaming.
Serious gaming.
Yeah, using the technologies from gaming to serious purposes.
Okay.
Like developing formation, things like that. We put money also on the Web 2.0 technologies. We put money on...
wait, what is that? We put money on Web 2.0 technology because they will be, very interested. So how can we...
This is something we did in July and August.
Oh, so that's done.
And now this is done. Okay. We had 100 projects, and that was 400 companies because we asked companies to associate themselves. 400 companies that benefited from this money to develop projects. Our idea is recovery plan is intended to help people pass the crisis, but also to prepare for the future. And the future is partly with the digital economy, and especially in some segment of the digital economy that are key for the future. For example, if I come back to serious gaming is in the world nearly $10 billion. And in France, only a few millions. Why?
Right. So how do you fix that?
Well, and the problem is, we are very good at gaming in France. We have 3 companies out of the 10 biggest in the world, but we are not involved in serious gaming. So serious gaming is developing very quickly in the world. One of the reasons is the leaders are in the States because of a big investment, especially in the American army, in the serious gaming. American army is using serious gaming to...
simulate?
Not to simulate, to recruit.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Also. So there are historical and cultural reasons why we're not good at that, but we recognize this is future development. This is key for the future development of gaming business, and so we put a little money on projects, and we ask small companies to present their projects. We favor very much small companies' projects.
And then you give them checks.
And then we give money.
But you get shares for that.
Yeah, do you become an investor?
You don't become an investor.
No, this is pure subventions. This was pure subventions. This was really gifts on projects that we feel are helping develop new businesses.
What about mobile applications?
So this is another segment we invested in with this money. We are trying to develop a portail.
A portal.
Portal. This is called Proxima Mobile. This is my application store of services to the public application. So Proxima Mobile is developing very quickly in France, and I put some money on it too.
And this is so that individual French people can access public service via their mobile phone.
Yes, but this is not e-administration. This is also, for example, there is a project called Culture Click. Culture Click was a project...
Click Culture.
Yes. Well, but
that's a bright translation, Thomas.
But you need to type Culture Click, though, if you want to access to it. And Culture Click is a project for access to public culture. For example, under this thing, we already developed an application. This is an iPhone application already, by the way, on the Musée du Louvre. And this was developed with this money. And we are trying to do that for the access to culture, but also for development of small French companies in this area of Web 2.0 for those companies to be incentivized to be in this business.
Nathalie, there is a lot of conversation here on Europe compared to Silicon Valley.
Sure.
If you look at the internet,
well, the broadband access is much better in Europe than in Silicon Valley. I must say, I was very surprised when I was in Silicon Valley 6 months ago. Yes, it's terrible. You can't get your access.
No, I would love the same provider here. I mean, there than here. Yeah.
So what do you?
So how do we? So the world leaders like the Googles and the Amazon and the eBay are mostly US, even though we have a bigger pipe here. At home, at least for now. How do we fix this? Fabrice Granda was just here before saying how,
I met him in New York.
I bet you met him.
One of my challenges, I think one of our challenge is we're creating a lot of small companies. We had a lot of them. The ecosystem, especially in Paris, is very favorable to small companies. But then there is a crisis at some stage in their growth where we miss, they miss money and they miss perspectives. I mean, it's not only a question of money, it's also a question of size of market. So we have two challenges. One of them is finding money for them. And this partly could be done in the investment for future I spoke of. Because I'm trying to develop a sectorial fund for investment in small digital companies in France.
Very good.
This could be a partly private, partly public fund.
Like $1 billion?
Yes, but I would like to do something part private, part public.
Okay. I mean, like VCs, having venture capitalists.
Yes.
So why? So that they choose with you?
Shared risk.
Very good.
So this is one of the challenges. Finding money for these companies. But another challenge is also developing a bigger market. And this has to be done on the European level. We're working more and more on that with European partners. I'm working a lot with the Spanish partners especially. You know, Spain will be at the presidency of European Union in the first 6 months of 2010, and they are very much on the same position than us, recognizing we need to develop digital society in Europe and being willing to do not only, we need to do a network regulation at the European level, but we should not do only network regulation. We must also take into consideration economical and societal aspects of the digital economy.
We'll be happy to help in the room. I'm sure, we would love to see you again next year and see in between if we can work with you. We had Her Majesty the Queen Rania a few hours ago, and we're going to help her on education.
Well, I want to be back next year, especially I will try, if I may, to maybe use this opportunity.
Please.
To present some of the companies we funded this year. They're not ready yet because we just funded them with this money I spoke of, but this is, as I said, 100 projects, and I would like to have an opportunity to present them and maybe help them to go through this special stage where they have their project and they need some help to commercialize. And I hope we'll have some good news in the coming days.
For your 4 billion.
Yes, and I recognized somewhere in the room Henri Verdier, who is the boss for Cap Digital. I saw him, he's here. And I want to say I'm not just the only one doing the job for the 4 billions, because he was also, he had an audition,
an interview
with the Commission, and he very impressed the members of the Commission. So part of the 4 billions are
his 4 billions.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, not his.
we really hope the startup economy will benefit from that. So we really hope you succeed. Before we see the 3 winners of our startup competition, we had 16 companies who didn't get 4 billion yet. but we hope with the web, and we have venture capitalists here sitting. They will. Not maybe, they don't need that much. But before that, you're on Twitter, right?
Yes, I am. I tweeted I was late.
You tweeted you were NK_M, right?
Yes.
At NK_M.
Yes, because NKM was already taken by, I think, a Spanish man.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Well, maybe he's in the room.
I mean
Anybody stole Minister Twitter handle? And yes, well, look. And so, yeah, so that's, and you do it yourself. You tweet yourself. Very good. So, Nathalie, I would like to invite you to listen to those companies. Can you stay with us a few more minutes to watch those companies and give a prize?
I will appreciate that.
Very good. So, I guess we will sit here so that they can, if you could join this seat so that they can present, and I will just sit in the back. Please help me thank Nathalie for being with us.